Yo, yo, what up? Shonen Sensei here. All right, so now we are going to take a look at the Neo 3 demo, and we're going to do a discussion, analysis, breakdown, and review. I had to record it, obviously, from PS5, and it looks kind of shitty, especially this boss fight at least. But I'm hoping that once the boss fight clears up and we just get to some of the lower framed things that we're doing, that it won't look so ridiculous. So spoiler warning should have happened already, but this is the final boss of the demo, or there technically is one more, but this is the first ending of the demo, I guess. There's also a side mission. Pretty cool boss. And you can see we're kind of swapping around between ninja style, and you got to see a little bit of a look at the yokai. I don't remember what they're calling it, but the yokai ship type of thing. Yeah, okay, so this looks better. So, what I'm kind of showing here is that there's different missions. So we're going to have main missions and we're going to have crucible missions, and then we're also going to have side missions. So crucible missions are going to be kind of like your traditional Neo style missions where the rest of the time you're basically going to be in this like open world type of setting. So basically the gameplay loop is going to be you run around the open world and you try to prepare yourself for the I should have a map somewhere on here. You run around the open world and you try to prepare yourself for the crucible, which is going to be like the main difficult part of the mission with the boss. It's where you're like in this game's version of the yokai realm, etc., etc. So exploration is basically going to be preparing yourself for it, which is similar. It kind of reminds me in a really dumbass way to like Night Rain, right? You run around, you prepare yourself for the boss, and then you go fight the boss. Obviously extremely different. They actually did a very good job of making exploration worth it. And that is one thing Team Ninja has always really sucked at, is making you want to explore or making exploration feel like it actually is worth your time or that you're getting anything for it. Even in like Ronin, the only cool thing you could find by exploring really were like a couple secret bosses. The rest of the things were all just kind of like found on the map. But you get a lot of like passive skills and things like that. And I totally forgot to like go to that panel in the menu. But basically, if you go into the menu, there's ninja skills, samurai skills, and shared skills. And those are all passives. And you get some things that are very important. For instance, in ninja style, you have something called mist. And there's a passive skill that allows mist to purify yokai realms, which is very fucking important. And then you need to unlock, skills. And in this game, the one change, I get why they did it, but I don't know if I like it. So in Neo 1 and 2, you would get proficiency just by using things, right? So in Neo 2, if you wanted more jutsu points or more sword points, you would just use the sword or use your jutsu. However, in this game, you have to unlock it. So you're forced to go explore to find these items that allow you to unlock it. And I get why they did it. They did it because they want you to be forced to explore, and they want exploration to feel like it's worth something, but you can't just like grind points anymore. So we can see here we still have our typical samurai style, which still has stances. It still has flux, and yes, it still has flux too. I've seen a lot of dumbass comments where people are like, Flux 2 was replaced by just making Flux better, making it easier for the people who aren't good. No, dude. The Flux 1 unlock gives you Flux 2. In Neo 2, you only could do Flux 1 until you got the Flux 2 passive. In this game, you can do Flux 2 right away. And the Flux 2 passive in this game just makes Flux better. So you're just getting a buff version of Flux 1 and Flux 2. So Flux 2 still exists. Calm the fuck down. Now, here's the the ninja style. Obviously, no key pulse. You do get a passive that allows you to do like a perfect dodge to get key back. You have all these aerial combos. I'm sorry this looks so shitty. It's a product of PlayStation, I guess. You get these aerial combos, which are really cool. Air combat is a lot of fun, and you can like combo into it. So you have launching attacks and you can combo those into air attacks like I'm kind of showing here. Ninja is a lot of fun, and swapping between ninja and samurai is really, really cool to do. I don't know how anybody could hate it. Just think of it like a fourth stance. Like, yes, it doesn't have key pulls, but it uses almost no key. You can be super fucking aggressive. If you do well with your perfect dodges, you're always building jutsu and you're always building ki back, and you're supposed to be swapping. You're not supposed to just sit in ninja stance and never be able to ki pulse. You do some hard hitting shit in samurai, swap over to ninja, fly around, do some cool flashy, ninja shit, and then swap back to samurai, do some of your flexing. You're supposed to be incorporating it into your style, into your gameplay, not just fucking standing there, um, sitting in ninja style, unable to keep pulse. And that's something people can't seem to grasp. So there's also this skill that I'm showing here called Frost Moon. So Frost Moon gives you a skill that you can use on Flux and a skill that you can use on Key Pulse, which is awesome because it's just encouraging players to use Flux more often. And you can do it into Flux 2 as well. And as I'm showing here, you can still Flux 2 or Flux without doing it. So if you just do a regular Flux 2 like that, you're not going to proc Frost Moon. You need to press R1 plus, square or X or whatever an additional time after your Flux or after your Flux 2. This allows the player to control whether they want to do a regular Flux 2 and go into a different combo, or if they want to, utilize the stance switching attacks that are the Frost Moon style. Probably my favorite addition to the gameplay so far. Now, equipment works the same. So here I kind of want to show off something with Flourish. You can Flourish and use the Frost Moon stuff. So if you do Frost Moon in high stance, you will Flourish. If you do a Flux from starting in high stance, you'll Flourish. Also, if you pre-shift, you'll Flourish, which I think I'm going to show here. Yeah. So here, I'm going to pre-shift into high stance after my low stance attacks, and then do a Flux into mid stance, and you're still getting the Flourish. So you guys wanted tech, you wanted complexity. Well, here you fucking go. Pre-shifting into high stance, then flux toing back into mid stance, all to get your flourish to activate in high stance, even though you never actually did anything in high stance. Okay, so you can flourish without ever doing a single fucking thing in high stance other than procking the flux animations or whatever after pre-shifting. You want your fucking complexity? There's your goddamn complexity. Like, you have so much cool shit you can already do. And I haven't even begun to, like, find a lot of the cancels. Ninja does have a jump cancel. I'm going to try to show that off, I think, like, right here. Air combat is a lot of fun. Also, I've seen a lot of people, like, I can't kill these stupid fucking wasps. I'm trying to use the Odachi. Like, dude, you're supposed to be using air combat. So, I'm trying to, like, separate them a little here. I'm sorry this looks so fucking bad. I really am. But I guess PS5 capture just didn't work out well. But you'll still get the point. So one thing I really do hope, though, I really do hope, at least on Samurai, we can get two weapons so we can do our flux mechanic. All right, so here I'm going to try to do start an air combo, jump cancel, and then finish into the aerial combo or into the different aerial attack. So combo, jump cancel, finish. And you can kind of keep that going. Like, it's not like fucking Devil May Cry where you can keep it going literally indefinitely, but on some of the larger yokais, I've been able to do it a few times in a row. So again, more cool fucking tech that we're finding. Now, the next thing to look at are crucible weapons. So unfortunately, they got rid of Purify and they got rid of Corruption, but they added crucible weapons. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was something along the lines of like you take damage, like crucible damage when you're using them, but I never saw that happen. But you get extra skills. And then once you get proficiency in that skill, so like you'll find a crucible weapon that has a specific skill attached to it. And you use that skill, you gain your proficiency with it, and then you can freely assign that skill. So it's a different way of getting skills that aren't just like in a skill tree. So you're going to be finding skills in the wild. You're going to be finding weapons that have certain skills. The skill tree might be smaller inherently, but they're trying to give you secrets. They're trying to give you shit to search out. And that's good and bad. It's good because it's going to reward players who are super in depth and like go explore. It's bad because there's going to be a lot of players missing a lot of really cool shit just because they didn't happen to wander into the right little area. So it has its pros and its cons. Um, how much time is left on this video? Half. So let's see what I try to talk about here. Yeah, so here I'm showing the Crucible stuff. So there's just some unique skills. Then I'm gonna like kind of show off how you can combo them by switching between different styles and stances. So you can, do your combo. So the one thing about the forward Y combos or forward triangle combos, you can't like freely go into them if you already have an XY a light heavy combo variant. So you need to either key pulse or mist or let the previous attack animation completely end. So that is less spammy. You're not going to be able to cycle spam skills. I'm sure people will find different like ways to shorten those recovering animations to allow you to kind of chain them a little more freely. Here we're looking at the map. So this is the big overworld, and you can see that you find shit to do. In this region, I completed everything, so now it's showing me everything I didn't see and pick up. You're gonna find hidden bosses. You're gonna find hidden yokai. They're called crucible yokai. You're gonna find mini crucibles, which are basically reminiscent of the mini missions in Nioh 2, where you would have like the big Amarita crystal. And then this is where the crucible actually was, and then you clear the crucible and it's back to a nice happy little town. So my biggest complaint here is like all these regions, I have 3 out of 4 unlocked. I have no clue what the fuck I'm trying to find. I have scoured them. Is it one little pickup that is preventing me from completing that region and getting my samurai and ninja tech so I can actually expand my skills? Fucking dumb. Guardian spirits, so they switched guardian spirit skills and yokai soul cores have reversed. So previously you would combo with soul core and then you would use a talisman for the guardian skill. Now it's the other way around. I like it and I don't like it. I like it because comboing in guardian spirit skills is fun. I don't like it because there's no way to like combo in your soul core on Mio. So you're going to have all these like soul cores that you can't use essentially, or like you can't combo in well. Now there's yang and yin position. Yang positions give you ones that you can actually use. Yin positions are how you get your Onmyo. So every soul core is going to have different talismans associated with it, and you equip those passively, and that's how you get your Onmyo. So you're not having to waste skill points on Onmyo in this game. If you want to get your talismans, you're basically going to be looking for soul cores and killing yokai that drop the talismans you want. So I'm sure as you go throughout the game, you'll get better and stronger spells. If you want a lot of a certain talisman, you're going to farm a certain yokai, get their soul cores. I see where they're going with it. Don't know how I feel about this change yet, but it's not the end of the world. The thing that's gonna really like make or break this is how many guardian spirit skills they let you use. Like right now there's 2 positions slotted. Are they gonna let you have 2 guardian spirits per stance or per style, or is it gonna be limited to 1? Are you limited to 4 at a time? Are there gonna be lots of guardian spirits? Is there gonna be a big variety and diversity in their move sets? That's the shit that's gonna like make or break this system, and there's no way to tell if it's good or bad yet. You can see I'm just kind of going through here. I just finished a Crucible mission, so I'm, seeing what kind of gear I got. You can see I forget to do this a lot, and I'm still wearing gear that's like way under leveled. And obviously, with the way the weight system works, you need to be under a certain weight. Here, I'm able to put together a pretty good ninja set actually. A 2-piece Iga Ninja with I think 3-piece Flying Kato, which is good. That's good for a ninja set. I do really like this ninja style change. I love it because now you basically have 2 builds that you can rock at once. The only people that are hating on this are, well, the Nioh 2 fans that hate on everything, and then the people that want to use one stance, one weapon all game. And that's not how you're supposed to play Nioh. You don't play Nioh spamming high stance heavies or whatever the fuck. Like, you'll see that all the time. Like, I used high stance Kuso, or like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You're supposed to be constantly swapping weapons, constantly swapping stances. If you think of ninja as just like the fourth stance, it's a lot of fun. Get in, do your thing, get out. You know what I mean? And just constantly be in and out. And I don't like Win being back. I hate that they took away period and corruption. I really fucking hope that enough people will complain about that to where in the full build we get purity and corruption back. At least corruption, dude. Like, corrupt weapons were so fucking cool. Not having those is a heartbreaker. This game, the UI, everything, it makes me think of like what Nioh 1 should have been. Like, I don't like Nioh 1. I don't. I just don't like it. Nioh 2 is probably my favorite game of all time. So that's how like different those two games are to me. This game feels like what Nioh 1 could have been. Like, you're not a yokai, you have cooler skills, living weapon is better. You have ninja style. Like, I really do love it. So there's plenty of depth, there's plenty of complexity. They added stance swapping skills. The directional inputs are going to make it so you can't spam. And I've seen a lot of people having this discussion where they're like, I used to be able to cycle through skills by just holding L and mashing face buttons. So what? Get good. Like, you have to be more precise. And this is the Rise of the Ronin DNA. In Rise of the Ronin, you could style like a motherfucker, but very few people figured it out because you can't spam. That's where all the scrubs like Fighting Cowboy and all those fucking idiots who sucked at the game, they were trying to spam, and you can't spam. If you want to style in Ronin, you got to be precise and your inputs have to be right. You have to time things properly. You can't just spam shit. That's how this game's going to be. You're going to be able to style way harder than you can in Nioh 2 when it's all said and done, I promise you. But you're not going to be able to be a spam happy. And here, so we see that like sword and the dual swords, for instance, have samurai and ninja next to their title, but other weapons don't, which implies that some weapons will be on both styles, some won't. In your feedback, the biggest make or break of this ninja shit working is not having weapons locked to styles, right? That's going to be the biggest thing that turns people off, is people who played like imagine Tonfa without the ability to key pulse your demon dance. Like, Tonfa's a ninja weapon, but we need that shit on samurai too, right? You need that. That was so crucial to the gameplay loop of Tonfa. Imagine having hatchets with no stances, or switchglaive with no stances. It's just not going to work well. But imagine having Nioh 2 Tonfa and then like Ninja Gaiden 2 Tonfas both in the same fucking game. Like, that's what we need, right? So we need to convince them that that's like where they need to go about it. So plenty of depth, great fucking demo. Bosses are hard. It really depends on like your level. I've gone through the demo a few times now, and like depending on what level I am or what gear I am, the boss has been either easy or hard. But yeah, there's a lot of cool shit. You just got to figure out how to incorporate ninja style in. Use your aerial combos, get in there, throw some jutsu, get missed, get the right passives so you can purify your realms, do your perfect dodges, swap into fucking samurai stance, do some pre-shifting, flux to flourish shenanigans, and then swap back. You know what I mean? You got to be like in that flow. But yeah, that about sums up the analysis. It took way longer than I thought, but it's in a good spot. There are things I want to see them do, and there are some very risky changes, and these changes could end up making it the best Neo game ever. These changes could end up holding the game back depending on how they go with it. And mainly that comes down to switching Guardian Spirit skills and Yokai skills. If that's done well, then it won't matter. If we can combo, because a lot of these Guardian Spirit skills are more like attacks, like weapon attacks. So if we can combo those in, and there's a lot of good combo options, then fine, I'm cool with it. Like, I don't really care about if I'm comboing Yokai abilities or Guardian Spirit skills, as long as they're fun to like incorporate. and then not having weapons locked to certain styles. Those are going to be the two things that really make or break this game. And we need to like try to encourage them to make the correct decisions that the communities are gonna want. But yeah, dope demo. Loved it so far. Ninja Gaiden 4, Nioh 3, both coming out within the next year is fucking incredible. So yeah, thanks. Peace.